Did you know that some of life's most transformative choices can begin in the simple span of taking a slow, intentional breath? That's right, in the brief pause you create between an event and how you respond to it, you can dramatically alter the trajectory of your life, for better or worse. Today, we're venturing deep into the world of Stoicism, a philosophy that has for centuries enabled leaders, thinkers, and ordinary people to claim that crucial moment between stimulus and response as a source of empowerment. Figures like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca were not merely theorists, they were active practitioners who knew that every decision, every reaction, provided a chance to shape a more meaningful life. Stay with me as we uncover the power of deliberate action. How? With a handful of simple Stoic techniques, you can reshape the daily decisions you make and ultimately influence the entire course of your existence. Whether you're deciding on a career path, managing interpersonal dynamics, or determining how to best use your time and energy, Stoic principles can illuminate clearer, more purposeful routes. 11 Crafty can be empowering and sociable and challenging. We'll explore how to transform that critical space between what happens to you and how you choose to respond into your most potent instrument of change. If you appreciate what we're doing here, the simplest way to support us is to hit the subscribe button. And don't skip any part of this video. Each moment is rich with insights that might just help you unlock a wiser, more deliberate version of yourself. Let's begin. Harnessing the pause between event and action. At the heart of this approach is learning to create even a tiny gap between the stimuli you encounter and the choices you make in response. This gap, however brief, is a breeding ground for genuine wisdom. It's not about becoming indecisive or retreating from challenges. It's about taking the helm of your reactions, ensuring you choose thoughtfully rather than autopilot. Why is this pause so critical? Consider a recent instance when you reacted without thinking. Maybe you snapped at a friend or agreed too hastily to something you later regretted. Imagine if, in that moment, you had taken a slow breath, allowed your mind to settle, and considered your next move with care. Wouldn't that small shift have potentially led to a better outcome? This is precisely what the Stoics understood. Marcus Aurelius believed the power lies in that fraction of a second you carve out before responding. That's where you reconcile your actions with your deepest values. It's where you ensure you're not just running on knee-jerk impulses, but aligning with who you truly want to be. To start incorporating this pause, try the 5-second rule. Before replying to an irritating email or snapping at a sudden request, count backward from 5. During those few seconds, inhale, recall your core principles, and then respond from a place of intentionality. For more significant decisions, consider the 24-hour rule. Give yourself a full day to ponder big choices, allowing yourself time to sleep on it, seek advice, or let your subconscious weigh in. By the end of that period, the urgency often diminishes, making room for clarity. Stoicism isn't about passively enduring what life throws at you. It's about flourishing in spite of uncertainty. It's about acknowledging that while external events aren't fully under your command, how you respond certainly is. By mastering the pause, you shift from passively drifting to actively steering your own narrative, one choice at a time, expanding your perspective. This approach also involves broadening your view of the world. Sometimes all it takes to overcome a dilemma or ease a hardship is changing how you look at it. Stoicism emphasizes that it's not events themselves, but our judgments about them that shape our experiences. Try the view from above technique. Imagine yourself rising above your current circumstance, envisioning yourself flying upward, beyond your home, your city, and gazing down at the bigger picture. This mental exercise shrinks issues that loom large at ground level, helping you see them as smaller pieces of a much broader human tapestry. Grab the necessary resources for us, closest hands, and set deadlines for each. The Stoics, like Seneca, encouraged contextualizing struggles to discern what truly matters. From a wider angle, problems that seemed overwhelming may reveal themselves as manageable or even trivial. This shift in perspective isn't merely about coping, it's about understanding your challenges in a grander scheme. When they meet trouble, they focus on the solution, rather than pining over the past. Consider also role reversal. Suppose you're unsure how to handle a tough situation. Ask yourself, what would a trusted mentor do here? How might a historical figure you admire respond? Or what advice would you give a dear friend facing the same issue? This mental exercise unlocks creative solutions by detaching you from your habitual thought patterns. By consistently practicing these perspective shifts, you become more agile in your thinking. You're not trapped by your first impression. Instead, you gain the flexibility to navigate problems from multiple angles, deepening not only your wisdom, but also your empathy and clarity in dealing with others. Governing emotions with grace. Stoicism doesn't teach us to deny our emotions. Rather, it encourages us to understand and manage them skillfully, so they don't dictate our choices. Achieving a balanced emotional state is crucial for making decisions guided by reason and virtue. One practical approach is simply to name your emotions as they arise. When anger or worry surfaces, pause and say to yourself, "I feel anger," or "I feel anxiety." This act of labeling separates you from the emotion itself, reminding you that while you experience it, it doesn't define you. Another method is the Stoic's pause for emotional triggers. When something provokes a strong emotional reaction, try taking a single deep, measured breath before responding. This brief reprieve allows your rational mind to catch up, giving you the opportunity to respond thoughtfully rather than lash out impulsively. Epictetus and other Stoics knew that emotional mastery fosters true freedom. By approaching your emotions with curiosity and composure, you can steer them rather than be steered by them. Over time, this practice transforms emotional turbulence into a source of insight and resilience. Rational decision-making tools. Clear thinking is the Stoics' ally in decision-making. Simple but potent techniques like listing pros and cons can help. Putting benefits and drawbacks on paper reduces mental clutter and fosters balance, preventing emotion from overshadowing logic. Consider also the worst-case scenario method. Ask yourself, if this decision goes terribly wrong, what's the absolute worst outcome? By confronting your fears directly, you often find they're not as insurmountable as imagined. This quiets anxiety and empowers you to make decisions from a place of calm readiness rather than dread. Stoic philosophy supports using reason to navigate life's complexities. Rational analysis serves not only to improve the quality of your choices, but also to ensure that those choices resonate with your values. Each sound decision you make strengthens a life built on integrity and self-awareness, aligning choices with core values. Your values function as a moral compass, guiding you through life's storms. Stoicism teaches that living by virtue and principle fosters authenticity and character growth. So, when faced with a decision, ask yourself, does this align with my values? Does this action uplift my character or diminish it? Another test is imagining your decision under public scrutiny. Would you be comfortable if everyone knew your choice? If not, why? This mental check encourages you to consider the moral and reputational implications of your actions. By rooting every decision in values you cherish, you strengthen your moral foundation and maintain a sense of self-respect and honor. Seeking guidance from others. Though Stoicism praises self-reliance and individual discernment, it also recognizes the power of collective wisdom. Turning to mentors, counselors, or well-chosen confidants can provide fresh angles, helping you spot biases or oversights you might have missed. Consider the value of dialogue and debate. Great Stoics like Marcus Aurelius learned from advisors and scholars. Discussing your dilemmas with trusted friends or mentors may yield insights beyond your initial thinking. This communal approach doesn't weaken your autonomy. It enriches your perspective, ensuring your final decision is well-rounded and informed. In essence, Stoicism embraces the idea that no one should navigate life entirely alone. Human connection, mutual learning, and collective reasoning all contribute to more grounded, resilient choices. Reflecting on past decisions. After making a choice, take time to reflect on the outcome. Did things go as planned? If not, why? What can you learn? This post-mortem practice transforms errors into learning experiences rather than sources of regret. By dissecting the mechanics of your decision-making skill set, you polish your decision-making skill set. Additionally, try future self-reflection. Imagine looking back on today's decision from the vantage point of several years in the future. Would your future self applaud your choice or wish you had chosen differently? Such temporal shifts help you evaluate long-term consequences, ensuring decisions aren't short-sighted. Over time, this cycle of action and reflection deepens your wisdom. Instead of fearing missteps, you learn to welcome them as opportunities to refine your judgment and reinforce your Stoic resilience. Recognizing and counteracting biases. Stoicism encourages us to think clearly and truthfully about the world. However, our minds are riddled with biases, like the confirmation bias, which nudges us to seek information that validates our existing beliefs while ignoring contrary facts. To counter this, proactively seek opposing viewpoints. Study evidence that challenges your assumptions. Epictetus advised rigorously examining impressions to ensure they align with reality. Embracing evidence that contradicts your stance doesn't weaken you. It strengthens your intellectual integrity. Another helpful method is the pre-mortem technique. Instead of reflecting after a decision fails, imagine it failing in advance. Consider what could have gone wrong. This foresight helps you anticipate hurdles and develop strategies to avoid them, transforming potential pitfalls into manageable issues. By acknowledging and addressing biases, you align your thinking with objective truth rather than personal illusions. This honesty elevates your decision-making, ensuring it's less about self-deception and more about genuine understanding. Embracing uncertainty. Uncertainty is inevitable. Stoics accept that not everything is within our grasp to predict or control. Instead of recoiling from the unknown, embrace it as a realm of possibilities. The what-if exercise encourages you to consider various outcomes. Rather than worrying, you mentally rehearse different scenarios, reducing fear and sharpening your adaptability. Try the best, worst, most likely approach. Contemplate the best imaginable outcome, the worst that could realistically happen, and the scenario that's most probable. This balanced perspective sets the stage for calm, steady action, devoid of delusional optimism or paralyzing pessimism. 1.8. Equanimity, a key Stoic quality, thrives in an environment where uncertainty is not an enemy, but a teacher. By practicing these strategies, you transform anxiety into curiosity and hesitation into readiness. Thank you for joining this exploration of Stoic techniques for navigating life's complexities. Each time you pause before responding, shift your viewpoint, manage your emotions gracefully, analyze rationally, align actions with values, seek guidance, learn from past decisions. Address biases and embrace uncertainty. You're integrating Stoic wisdom into your everyday existence. If you found value in this journey, consider watching the suggested video now displayed on your screen. We're here to grow together, and your presence makes a difference. Until next time, stay thoughtful, stay grounded, and continue your steady march toward a more virtuous, enlightened life.